journey. I'm making a video for thousands upon millions of people that trust witchcraft. And witchcraft is powerless when it comes to revealing the secret of God. What I say? Witchcraft is powerless when it comes to revealing the secret of God. So if you're a person that want to go into witchcraft, you should consider this. Consider the book of Daniel. Daniel, glory to God, tell us that the king had a dream. And the dream was so puzzling to the king that the king asked for the magician. He asked for the sorcerers. And this is what the verse of Daniel, the chapter 2, verses 2 say. Then the king command to call the magician. Who he called? The magician and the astrologers. Those people that's reading horoscope, and the sorcerer, the witches, and the Chaldeans, and to show the king his dream. So they came and stood before the king. So you see that the king had a dream. Hey, glory to God. And in the dream, the king didn't remember the dream. So the king asked for all these people to come and stood before him. Then verse 3 say, and the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know, to understand the dream. So what the Chaldean was saying in verse number 10, the Chaldeans answered before the king and said, verse 10, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king matters. Therefore there is no king, lord, or ruler that acts such thing at any magician or astrologer or Chaldeans. And listen what does verse number 11 say. That's why we should not trust witchcraft. We should not trust sorcery. We should not trust, glory to God, magician, because verse number 11, hey, glory to verse number 11 say, and it is a real thing that the king require. There is none other than that can show it before the king except the gods whose dwelling is not with flesh. He's lying right there. Because God, the same God that Daniel, glory to God, is sought after, is the same God I serve. What about you? Is your God invisible? Or is your God witchcraft? Is your God Bephanet? Hey, glory to God. I'm at a point right now that we see the danger of witchcraft. Witchcraft is dangerous because witchcraft cannot answer the matters of God. Witchcraft can own a matter of sorcery and wickedness and evilness. I'm talking about witchcraft. Hey, glory to God. So we see that, hey, glory to God, the king commanded all the wise men to be slain. What? In verse 13, and the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. And they saw Daniel and his fellow to be slain. So you're talking about the wise man with Daniel going to be slain. But Daniel, listen, my friend, if there's hard matters in your life, you should sort God. If there's hard matter, don't go to the witch. Don't go to the voodoo doctor. Don't go to those that don't crystal ball reading, because those things are dangerous. And what happened, glory to God, how Daniel, listen what Daniel say. Daniel say, verse number 18, that they would desire mercy of the God of heaven concerning the secret. So if there's a secret in your life, if there's a dream in your life, you should go to God about your dream. Don't go to the witch. Don't go to dream readers or dream interpretation. Go to God, because God gives, hallelujah, interpretation of deep things. I'm talking about the God of heaven. God rules still. Hey, glory to God. The devil might be the gods of this world, but God is still greater than Lucifer. God is still greater than Luciferian. God is still greater than Illuminati. God is still greater than those that worship Lucy, which I call Luciferians. I'm talking about heavens still rules. What? Heaven still rules, and we gotta get out of this, my friend. So what? There are a lot of witches on YouTube. It don't make a thing, my friend. God's still in control. God never lost his control. Hey, glory to God. But look what Daniel said. Daniel said that they would desire mercies of God of heaven concerning the secret that Daniel and his fellows shall not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. My friend, the secret thing belongs to God. God is still in control and over control. God still rules heaven and earth. Hallelujah. Then what happened? Verse 19. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. I serve the God of heaven. Hey, glory to God. If you're watching this video and you have secret things of God, secret things, don't go to the witch. Don't go to Laverne. Don't go to the witches that's saying that, glory to God, they got all this power. The power they have is sorcery. And sorcery is no match for God. Look, glory to God, in the commandment, in Genesis and Exodus, my friend, how the power of God. Moses to tell the people of God, God show y'all 10 signs, 10 powerful, and y'all still don't trust God. Glory to God. In verse 20 say, and Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And guess what God does? God said, and he changed the time and season. God can do what he wanted because God is sovereign. The sovereignty of God still exists. My friend, Trump ain't in charge. No president ain't in charge. No riches, no billionaire. The Rothschild ain't in charge. God is in charge. Hey, glory to God. They might have all the money, but God have all the almighty power. That's why I'm not in threat to nobody, because God is still in charge. Hey, money don't mean a thing with God. It's all about power, and money ain't no power. Hear me? And the Bible says, and he changes the time and season. He removed kings and set up kings, and he giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. What he does, he revealed the deep secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light there with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my father, who have given me wisdom and might, and have made known unto now what we desire of thee, for thou have known, understand the king matter. So I'm saying to you, watching my video, God still rule heaven. God still rules. Witches does not rule. When I say witches does not rule, God still rule. The Bible says, has given me wisdom and might, have made known unto me now what we desire of thee, for thou hast now made unto us the king's matter. So I'm telling folks that watching this video, God still rules in heaven. What? God still, which does not rule. They might rule on YouTube video with views and subscription, but God still rule heaven. God still rule earth. And God can do what he want to do. And listen what the Bible say in verse 24. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arishkar, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said unto him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon, bring me before the king, and I will show unto the king the interpretation. And God still doing these things. God is not dead. God is alive. What? God is not dead. And the Bible say, then Arishkar brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said unto him, I have found a man in the captivity of Judah, that will make known unto the king interpretation. And I'm telling people, my friend, the same God of Daniel, the same God exists unto. I'm not running to the witches. I'm not running to the voodoo doctor. I'm not running to millionaires. I'm running to God, because God still rule heaven. If you're having a problem in your life, I'm telling you what you ought to do. Trust not the witch. Trust not lawyers. Trust not billionaires or millionaires. Trust God. God still exists. Hey, glory to God. The reptile does not have all the power. The Luciferian don't have all the power. All power is in the mighty hand of Jesus Christ. All secret things, hey, glory to God, belong in the hands of God. And I'm telling people, my friend, God is mighty. God is almighty. And we are trusting. Why are we trusting witches? Why are we trusting the witchcraft? Why are we trusting billionaires and money? Our trust is in the wrong place. That's my subject. Our trust is in the wrong place. Our trust are not to be in witches, or not to be in soothsayers, or not to be in crystal ball reader. Our trust is in the wrong people, in the wrong places, wrong position, and the wrong president. Our trust ought to be in the potentate, which is Jesus Christ. So I'm telling people, my friend, if you have a hard dream and you can't understand your dream, get down on your knees and did what Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did. They went to God, and God revealed it to Daniel. And the same God that I serve, my friend, this God will make you go in a fiery furnace. This God will make you go in the den of lions. This God will rescue you. This God will bless you. And I'm talking about our trust is in the wrong gods. God is invisible. You hear me? God is not a statue. God is not your imagination. God is not in witchcraft. God is not no witch. God is almighty. And I serve the same God today. I laid down my life. Is that your testimony? Because the Bible says, if you lay down your life for him, you will find it. So I'm telling you, our trust is in the wrong gods. Our trust ought to be in God, not gods. Gods are not, don't have no power, but the God that I serve, he got all the power. So what the judges, so what the lawyers, but what God say? Our trust is in the wrong gods. Our trust ought to be in God. So if you're watching this and you know what to do, what you ought to do is get down on your knees and believe God. If you have a hard thing in your life, hey, glory to God, money cannot pull you out. Hallelujah. Doctors can't pull you out. The witches can't pull you out. Money can't pull you out. Hallelujah. I don't care if, hallelujah, the best Johnny Cochran was here. The only person can pull you out of this matter is God. God still, glory to God, revealed the deep things and the deep matters of God. I'm talking about the God that while I was in Jamaica and I prayed and God brought me to America. The same God that took away tumor, the same God that let me escape death is the same God that exists today, and his name is Jesus. Hallelujah. I'm talking to somebody right now. You don't know what to do. This thing is so deep, it's so big, you don't know how to get out of it. I'm telling you, the secret things of God, God can reveal it unto you. God can take you out of it. I don't care what it is. Somebody put something on you. I'm telling you, God can move it out of your life. Glory to God. Somebody right now, you don't know what to do. What you ought to do, you ought to trust in the God of Daniel. Trust in the God of Daniel. The God of Daniel still exists. I trust him. That's why I'm in America. Hallelujah. All that they do to me, I'm still standing because I trust in the God of Daniel. Hey, glory to God.